This is Chris with Eagles. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris with Eagles, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. It'll be down there in the description box, and I'm here to do my AEW Dynamite November 22nd, 2023 reviews. So here we go, discussing about AEW Dynamite. Now, we kick off the show with the first match of the night. It was Swerve Strickland versus Jay Lethal, one-on-one in the Continental Classic tournament. So yeah, this tournament is like a different one. It's not like with the tournament brackets or whatever, like the first round, second round, stuff like that. The way this is built up is like similar to like the Bound for Glory series, if you remember from TNA and all that stuff, where you like get points and all that. Pretty much that's what it is like. So like nobody gets eliminated or anything like that. So like if Swerve beat it Lethal, Lethal will not be eliminated at all. He's just gonna have to play catch up and stuff and try to get some points. They got like 3 points if you win by like a victory, like pinfall or submission. I think it's like 1 point with a draw. If that ends up like a draw, like time runs out or something, and I think you get like no points or whatever, like interference or something like that. So yeah, that's what it's pretty much like. But yeah, the Continental Classic tournament, you get like 3 championships. You get the chance to go for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship, the New Japan Pro Wrestling Openweight Championship, Strong Openweight Championship or whatever, and you get another title as well. So yeah, that's like 3 titles right there that you can be holding right there. But yeah, that's what it's pretty much all about. But yeah, we get to the first match of the night. Swerve Strickland versus Jay Lethal one-on-one. In this match, it was a pretty good match. Jay Lethal was trying to do everything that he can do to try to beat Swerve. Like, he locked him in the crossface and all that stuff, trying to, make him tap out, but Swerve fought out of it. And he starts going after Jay Lethal's leg and all that stuff. Like, Lethal was trying to hit Lethal injection onto Swerve, but Swerve kicked his leg out and all that stuff. But then Swerve kicks him upside the head. That running kick, I think it's called Swerve House or whatever. Swerve then climbs up the top turnbuckle and jumps off with a double foot stump onto Jay. The Swerve stump onto him, and he pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Swerve Strickland defeated Jay Lethal. So Swerve got 3 points in this tournament, and Jay Lethal got 0. And I think that's going to be like the only time they faced off in this tournament, and now they're going to be faced off against other people like, Swerve versus John Moxley and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what it's pretty much like, but they're done facing off each other in this. But yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good match. I'll give that match 3 stars. That's why I'll give it good opener. But yeah, that's what happened there. And then after that, we see Renee Paquette backstage interviewing the AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy, the FTW Champion Hook, and the Ring of Honor Pure Champion Shibata. So yeah, Katsuyori Shibata. So yeah, they was about to get interviewed up until Will Yuta comes up, and Will Yuta was talking about he's going to be facing Shibata tomorrow night. He's going to be taking his Ring of Honor Pure Championship back tomorrow night on Ring of Honor. So yeah, that's what he was talking about and all that eventually. So yeah, that's what happened there. But yeah, up next we're going to be seeing MJF and Adam Cole up next on AEW. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing to happen on AEW Dynamite, we get to the next segment of the night where we see the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, Adam Cole and the AEW World Heavyweight Champion MJF. They come down to the ring. Obviously, they're both injured and all of that stuff. Adam Cole sits down. MJF is standing up. And, MJF and Adam Cole starts talking about a few things. They was talking about Jay White and all that stuff and what happened at Full Gear. How Jay White is a pretty damn good wrestler, but MJF says that he gave him his first ever singles loss at Full Gear, and he has retained the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And not only that, he retained the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships on the same night. He says not only that, he is the longest reigning AEW World Heavyweight Champion, holding it for over a year now, the youngest AEW World Heavyweight Champion, and the most successful title defenses as champ. So yeah, that's what MJF was talking about. Then he starts talking about Samoa Joe, how he got to look behind with Samoa Joe. Well, actually, Adam Cole starts talking about how MJF got to deal with Samoa Joe, and then he brought up the devil, and MJF was talking about the devil at that point, and talking about whoever stole his devil mask, they're going to regret it because he's going to get his hands on him, he's going to beat the hell out of him. So yeah, that's what he was saying, but then, all of a sudden, lights go out, the devil pops up on the TV screen, he starts laughing, goes away. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then Samoa Joe comes out there, and MJF and Samoa Joe gets face to face because they got a few things to say. Samoa Joe was talking about how, if it was he's the one that helped MJF have a good night the first night or whatever, having a good night and stuff at Full Gear by helping him retain the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships because of his friend couldn't be there for him, talking about Adam Cole and all that stuff. And then Samoa Joe was talking about, well, since that agreement, you owe me a AEW World Heavyweight Championship rematch. And MJF pretty much says, blow me. You can't really hear it because they censor the hell out of it. But that's what he says. Samoa Joe gets pissed off. He grabs MJF and pushes him against the ropes, and Adam Cole tries to get him to cool down and all that stuff. And Adam Cole tells MJF, like, hey, like, you gotta be good and all that stuff. Like, you're a changed man, and, Samoa Joe did what he agreed on, and now you should do what you agreed on, and give him the AEW World Heavyweight Championship rematch. And MJF was like, you know what, yeah, sure. And, MJF was somehow, well, how about tonight? And Samoa Joe was like, no, I don't think I want you tonight because I want you at 100%, because if I beat you tonight and you're not 100%, you're just going to be complaining on Twitter and all that stuff, and complain because you wasn't 100%. And he says, how about at World's End, we can have that match? And MJF pretty much agreed, and he goes like, well, I was going to kick your ass in Chicago tonight, but it's better off to kick your ass in my hometown in New York. So yeah, that's what he says. And yeah, they're going to be meeting each other at World's End. And then they shook hands, and then MJF pulls him right back, and then says something about his way and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff though. But yeah, up next we're going to be seeing a 6-man tag team match up next on Dynamite. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a 6-man tag team match. It was the AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy, the FTW Champion Hook, and the Ring of Honor Pure Champion Katsuyori Shibata versus Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, and Jake Hager in a 6-man tag team match. But before this match even started, Orange Cassidy grabs the mic and he says that he has a special Thanksgiving gift for everybody before Thanksgiving happens, and it was Danhausen. So yeah, Danhausen makes his return tonight. He comes out there, he's at ringside for them, and yeah, the match starts and everything, and Hager and them was doing pretty good up against Hook and all that stuff, beating them down, Shibata, and they was about to hit Shibata with a triple team move. Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, and Hager was about to do it, but then Danhausen gets up on the ring apron, and he got Jake Hager's hook. Hager gets pissed off, he gets out of the ring, and then he tries to clothesline Danhausen, but Danhausen ducks, and then he curses Hager, and Hager gets hit with a suicide dive by Orange Cassidy. And then we see Shibata and Hook lock on the transmission, pretty much a sleeper hold onto Matt Menard and Angelo Parker at the same time. Jake Hager gets back up on the ring apron, he gets hit with an orange punch by Orange Cassidy, and then Angelo Parker taps out. So yeah, Hook, Orange Cassidy, and Katsuyori Shibata defeated Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, and Jake Hager in a 6-man tag team match tonight on AEW Dynamite. That's what happened for that match. I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, that's what happened there. And then after that, we see Renee Paquette interviewing Adam Cole backstage, and Cole was talking about MJF and all that stuff up until he gets interrupted by Roderick Strong and Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, the Kingdom, backstage. Roderick Strong screaming out Adam, and Adam Cole was telling him to shut up. He's getting tired of him. He says he's not his best friend, and he gets to deal with that, and he walks away. So yeah, that's what happened there. Shitty stuff from Adam Cole, but yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty funny stuff. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, we get to the next segment of the night where we see the TNT champion Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. They all three come out there to the ring, and Christian Cage got a few things to say. He was talking about what happened at Full Gear and all that stuff, how he's not the one that lost the match. Nick Wayne wasn't the one that lost the match, but the one that lost the match for them at Full Gear was Luchasaurus, even though Christian Cage was the one that hit Luchasaurus in the face with the title on accident and all that stuff. Luchasaurus was the one that lost the match, you know. So yeah, Christian Cage was all pissed off about that, and you know, he looks at Luchasaurus, he looks at Nick Wayne, he goes like, "I'm going to rebrand y'all in my image. Y'all are not going to be no longer who you are. You going to be new people and winners only." So yeah, that's what Christian Cage was talking about, and Christian Cage tells Luchasaurus to get down on a knee. Luchasaurus didn't want to, but Christian Cage kept on telling him, "Hey, get down on your knee," and then started yelling at him and all that stuff. And Luchasaurus finally got down onto one knee, and Christian Cage was like, "Look, here's what we're going to do. You're no longer Luchasaurus. What's going to be happening is you're going to get a new name, and that new name is something that, you know, makes you become a winner and all that stuff, and you're going to be wrestling on Collision with this new name. And what better name to give you than something like my finisher, Kill Switch?" So yeah, he renames Luchasaurus to Kill Switch now. So yeah, that is Luchasaurus' new name is Kill Switch. And then he looks at Nick Wayne, he goes like, "Nick Wayne," and then all of a sudden Nick Wayne drops down to a knee and all that stuff, no hesitation. And Christian Cage tells him to get up, and then he starts looking at Nick Wayne, and he goes like, "Look, I thought of you as a son and all that stuff, and that's all I thought of you, as my golden boy, as my child, my only son that I never had, you know." And then he looks at Nick Wayne, he goes like, "Your name is going to be the Prodigy, Nick Wayne." So yeah, that's what Christian Cage says. He gave him the Prodigy name, Nick Wayne. But yeah, that's what Christian Cage was saying, and you know, that's what he was talking about. But then all of a sudden, Nick Wayne's mom comes walking out there, and Christian Cage was like, "Why are you out here?" He goes like, "You know what? It's all good that you're out here because I got some stuff to say to you." And then he looks at Nick Wayne's mom and he says that, you know, you couldn't raise Nick Wayne right. He says, "I'm going to be the one raising him right, because who wants somebody to be getting only $40K a year as a waitress and all of that stuff and can't even provide for their son right, huh?" And then that's what Christian Cage was talking about. And then he brings up the dad and all that stuff, talking about Nick Wayne's dad was better off being dead anyways, because now he gets a new dad. So yeah, that's what Christian Cage was saying. And Nick Wayne was smiling and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, Luchasaurus had enough of this, and he gets in front of Christian Cage, and Christian Cage was like, "Kill Switch, move. Get down on your knee," and stuff. And Kill Switch wasn't listening, you know, and Christian Cage gets pissed off, and he slaps him. And and Luchasaurus still getting madder and madder and all that stuff, and he's not moving out of the way. And then all of a sudden, and he still wasn't listening, so Christian Cage pushes him, but Luchasaurus accidentally bumps into Nick Wayne's mom, which she kind of hit the ropes and stuff and knocked her out, and she falls down. And Christian Cage looks at this opportunity, he goes like, "Nick Wayne, get out of the ring and get me some chairs." And Nick Wayne gets out of the ring, looks underneath the ring, grabs 2 steel chairs, passes over to Christian. Christian puts her head onto one of the steel chairs, and he's about to hit the concerto onto Nick Wayne's mom. But then he looks at Luchasaurus and he goes like, "No, you want to hit the concerto." And he passes the steel chair to Luchasaurus. And Luchasaurus didn't want to do it, and he's like raising it up and then dropping it back down, going, "I don't want to do it." And then he finally raises it up, about to hit Nick Wayne's mom upside the head with the chair, up until Adam Copeland runs out there. He ducks a steel chair shot from Luchasaurus, and he spears Nick Wayne, and then he hits a big boot onto Luchasaurus, knocking him out of the ring. Christian Cage does get back into the ring, and Adam Copeland was about to hit Christian Cage up until Luchasaurus grabs him by the foot and drags Christian Cage out the ring. And then Copeland gets to the corner, waited for Nick Wayne to get back up, and he hits him with a second spear as well, and then picks him up again, and then hits that lift up DDT to execution onto Nick Wayne, laying him out. And then he grabbed 2 steel chairs, put Nick Wayne's head onto one of them, and then he hits the concerto onto Nick Wayne with his mom looking and all that stuff. And his mom was only begging the whole time, but Adam Copeland was not listening, and he didn't even pay attention to her. He's still pissed off, and he's still staring at Christian Cage and Luchasaurus while they're up the ramp, and Nick Wayne's mom's checking on Nick Wayne. But yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff. I liked it. It was really great stuff. But then After that, we see Renee Paquette interviewing Matt Menard, Angela Parker, and Jake Hager and a Jay backstage. And, Matt Menard and them was talking about how pissed off they are about what happened with Danhausen and all that stuff tonight. And Jay was like, look, we got to focus on me because all I want to do is wrestle, and I got to focus on Ruby Soho and Sky Blue and all that. And so, yeah, that's what she was saying. And then all of a sudden, Angela Parker's phone started going off, and it was Ruby Soho calling. And he goes like, I'm going to always be there for family and stuff. So, yeah, that's what Angela Parker said. Crazy stuff. But up next, we're going to be seeing Rush versus Jay White one-on-one in the Continental Classic Tournament up next on Dynamite. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So, the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was the Continental Classic Tournament match. It was Jay White versus Rush one-on-one. In this match, it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. Rush was doing everything that he could do to try to beat down Jay White and all that stuff. Like, he had forearm onto him. And then, like, Jay White was sitting down in the corner. Rush was setting up for double knees to the face. And he runs to Jay White, but Jay White catches him. Try to hit the blade runner and stuff. But Rush fought out all that. And he pushes Jay White. And Jay White almost bumped into the referee. Referee kind of, like, flinched and stuff. And, like, didn't see what was going on. And then Jay White kicks Rush in the nuts, hitting a low blow onto him. Referee didn't see it, and then Jay White hits the Blade Runner onto Rush, and he pins him for the 1, 2, 3. Jay White defeated Rush tonight in a one-on-one match, and yeah, he won the match, and he got 3 points in the Continental Classic Tournament. That's what happened, and Rush got 0. So yeah, pretty good match though. If you have yet, go check out that match. It was a great one. I'll give that match 3.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. But yeah, great match right there. But yeah, still to come later on tonight on Dynamite, we will see Jon Moxley versus Mark Briscoe one-on-one in the Continental Classic Tournament later on tonight as well. So yeah, that match will be happening tonight. I guess it's the main event. But up next, we're going to be seeing the new AEW Women's World Champion, Timeless Toni Storm, up next on AEW Dynamite. So yeah, she'll be up on Dynamite up next. So yeah, that'll be up next though. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, now before we talk about the next match, we got to talk about a segment before that. So yeah, we see Renee Paquette and RJ City pretty much, and they was talking about Timeless Toni Storm, that she gets a reward and all that stuff. And, she comes walking up the ramp all excited and everything, trips and falls, funny stuff. And then, Mariah May brings up the title to her and all that stuff. And Toni Storm being funny and all that stuff, thinking Warner Brothers and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty funny stuff. But then we get to the match. It was Sky Blue versus Anna Jay with Matt Menard and Angela Parker at ringside versus Ruby Soho with Saraya at ringside. And it was a pretty good match for the most part. It was a good triple threat match. It was going back and forth and everything between all three of these women, but then eventually we see Ruby Soho get knocked off the ring apron, and she lands in the arms of Angela Parker. They're both about to kiss and all that stuff, but then Saraya grabs her by the hair and pulls her off, and now Saraya and Ruby Soho's arguing, and while they're arguing, we see Anna Jay and Sky Blue going at it in the ring, hitting some super kicks on each other. Sky Blue lifts up Anna Jay up on her shoulders, and then hits the TKO onto her, pinning her for the 3 count. So yeah, Sky Blue defeated Ruby Soho and Anna Jay tonight in a triple threat match. Ruby Soho was trying to get back into the ring to break up the pin, but she was too late. But yeah, that's what happened there. And then it's Saraya and Ruby Soho started arguing, going up the ramp. So yeah, that's what happened there. Decent match. I'll give that match 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. But yeah, that's what happened there. And then after that, we see Renee Paquette interviewing. She was interviewing Wardlow backstage, and Wardlow pretty much says that MJF is going to get what's coming to him and all that stuff. He don't care about the devil stuff and all that. And then AR Fox comes up talking about, hey, Wardlow, I understand what you're going through. I blame people as well. Like, I blame Darby Allin and stuff. And Wardlow just headbutts him in the face and I'll get him down. He says, I don't care what you got to say. So yeah, that's what happened there. But next we'll be seeing Mark Briscoe versus Jon Moxley one-on-one in the Continental Classic Tournament up next on AEW Dynamite. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a main event. It was a one-on-one match. It was Jon Moxley versus Mark Briscoe one-on-one in the Continental Classic Tournament. So yeah, we get to this match. And this match, it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything as the main event. During this match, Mark Briscoe got busted open and stuff, but Briscoe was doing everything that he could do to try to pin down Moxley's shoulders down to the mat. Like at one point, he climbed up the top turnbuckle, and he knocked Mox off the top turnbuckle, and he jumps off with the elbow drop onto Jon Moxley. He pins him 1, 2, Mox barely kicks out at 2. Eventually, Briscoe gets back up to his feet and saves for Mox, and then Briscoe hits a big clothesline onto him, lifts him up, tries to hit the J Driller onto Mox, but Mox, fought out of that, hits a big clothesline onto Briscoe, lifts him up and hits a Death Rider onto him. Thought it was going to be all over there. Pins him 1, 2, Mark barely kicks out at 2. Both of them trading blows and everything, and then eventually Jon Moxley knocked him down with a vicious clothesline, hits a curb stomp onto him, lifts him back up and hits a second Death Rider onto Mark Briscoe, and then he pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Jon Moxley defeated Mark Briscoe tonight in the Continental Classic Tournament and the main event of tonight's AEW Dynamite. That's what happened. Pretty good match, though. I'll give that match 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a good one. So yeah, Jon Moxley got 3 points. Mark Briscoe still got 0. So yeah, that's what happened there. It was a good one for the most part. Like I said, 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. For match of the night, I gotta say was Jay White versus Roosh. That match was really good. Definitely, I love the segment with Christian Cage and Adam Copeland and all them. That was a great segment. Same for MJF segment. But other than that, tonight's Dynamite was okay for the most part. Like, it was average, really. So yeah, for tonight's AEW Dynamite, I'll give it 7 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, that was AEW Dynamite there. But yeah, that's been my AEW Dynamite reviews. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, World of Chris. And subscribe to this channel, Chris Potatoes. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. And I'll be down there in the description box. I'll be doing my Survivor Series predictions tomorrow night. So yeah, look out for that. I'll be doing my Friday Night SmackDown reviews this Friday. And I'll be doing my Survivor Series War Games reviews this Saturday. So yeah, look out for all that. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then.